So, at Microsoft's recent Ignite conference, they didn't just roll out a few new AI features. No, they unveiled a fundamental shift in their entire cloud strategy. And for investors, this is way bigger than just the next product cycle. We're talking about the construction of a deep, defensible competitive moat that could last for the next decade.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase and start with the conclusion. What we're really seeing here is Microsoft strategically building an AI-native operating system right across its entire enterprise stack. See, this isn't about having a slightly better AI model. It's about creating an indispensable platform that becomes the central nervous system for all enterprise intelligence.
Now, to really grasp the value of this platform play, you first have to understand the massive, multi-billion-dollar headache that has been plaguing every large company trying to make AI work. It's called the enterprise context problem.
At the heart of it all is something called context failure. This is what happens when an AI tries to answer what seems like a simple business question but gets totally lost. It's wandering through a maze of disconnected data silos. Emails, SharePoint sites, analytics dashboards, custom apps. It has no unified map. So without that full picture, the AI just invents answers. It hallucinates. And that leads to mistrust and ultimately failed projects.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, the chaos versus the solution. On the left, you've got the current state of enterprise AI. It's a mess, right? Different systems with different definitions, fragmented knowledge, really basic search, and a total nightmare of security permissions. But on the right, that's the elegant architecture Microsoft is building. It's a single source of truth that gives you consistency, security, and a much, much smarter way to find information. And that's how you unlock some serious value.
So how is Microsoft actually pulling this off? Well, they've introduced what they call a universal context layer. The best way to think about it is like they're building one unified semantic brain that understands all of an organization's data, no matter where it lives. This unified brain is built on three pillars that all talk to each other. First, you've got Work IQ. It understands the day-to-day rhythm of your company from all that Microsoft 365 data. Then there's Fabric IQ, which provides the semantic backbone. It knows what customer or revenue actually means, unifying 20 million existing data models. And finally, Foundry IQ acts as the super smart retrieval engine that can actually plan and reason to find the right answer. It's this deep integration that's the real key, and it's an advantage that leverages decades of Microsoft's dominance in the enterprise space.
But look, a fancy architecture is only half the story. For an investment thesis to really hold water, the tech has to deliver real, measurable results. So let's look at the actual performance gains.
And boy, does it deliver. Microsoft's own benchmarks, which were run on real customer data, show that their new agentic retrieval method boosts the relevance and quality of AI answers by an average of 36%. Let me be clear, this isn't some small, incremental improvement. It's a huge step change in how effective this technology can be. This chart really puts that number into perspective. On the left, you see the performance of the old way, that brute force search, scoring a 59 out of 100. Kind of mediocre. But on the right, with Microsoft's intelligent agentic approach, that score jumps all the way to 80. And that right there is the difference between an AI that's just occasionally helpful and one that becomes a reliable, mission-critical tool. And this isn't just theory or some lab result. Look at a major enterprise like AT&T. By putting this tech into practice, they cut their customer resolution times by a third and successfully scaled over 70 AI solutions to 100,000 employees. This is proof of real-world ROI, turning what was once disconnected data into immediate, trusted business insights.
All right, let's bring it home. Let's move to our final point and see how all of this builds into a really powerful long-term investment thesis.
So this whole strategy really comes down to four key pillars that create this incredible investment moat. First, you've got the depth. No other company is so deeply embedded across productivity, data, and cloud infrastructure. This makes their unified layer incredibly difficult to replicate. Second, the stickiness. Once a company builds its brain on this platform, the cost and hassle of switching becomes enormous. Third, the governance. By baking security in at the core, Microsoft solves a massive headache for every CIO out there. And finally, scalability. This whole architecture is designed for a future where entire workforces of AI agents are running on this exact platform.
Which leaves us with a final thought. In an age where every company is scrambling to mine its data, the new oil, Microsoft is strategically positioning itself to own the refinery. They're building the essential infrastructure that turns all that raw, chaotic data into high-value, actionable intelligence. So you see, they're not just participating in the AI revolution, they are building the operating system it will run on.